This podcast is sponsored by Monarch Money. Have you been using Mint to manage your finances? Bad news, Mint shut down. The good news? There's a better alternative. Monarch Money. Mint users are turning to Monarch Money and loving it. Why? Because Monarch Money has built a new kind of personal finance app that's intuitive, insightful, ad-free, and prioritizes the user experience. Try it free for 30 days at monarchmoney.com/podcast. With a comprehensive view of all your accounts, Monarch makes it easy to stick to your budgets and achieve your goals. Easily customize your dashboard, automate rules for transactions, and more. Monarch's built-in collaboration feature lets you invite your partner at no extra cost. Monarch makes it easy to switch from Mint, import your data, and keep all your tags and categories intact. See why the Wall Street Journal named Monarch Money the best budgeting app overall. Get a 30-day free trial today when you go to monarchmoney.com/podcast. That's MONARCH money.com/podcast for your free trial. monarchmoney.com/podcast.
MSW Media.
Hey everybody, it's Liz Winstead. Welcome to Feminist Buzzkills Live. With me are my fellow Buzzkills and co-conspirators, Moji Alawodale.
Hello.
And Marie Kahn. Hi, Marie. Normally I would say something super snarky at this point in the show, but today is Abortion Provider Appreciation Day, and March 10th was chosen because it was on this day in 1993 that Dr. David Gunn was assassinated by cold-blooded killers as he walked from his car to his clinic in Pensacola, Florida. Dr. Gunn is the father of our dear friend, David Gunn Jr., and he was stolen from his family, his friends, and from his patients, all who benefited from his compassionate care. We love you, David, and celebrate your pop and all the abortion providers who work so tirelessly every day, facing the risks, the terror, the harassment, all because they know the work they do and the love with which they do it is greater than all the hate they receive. It is an honor to celebrate them today and every day, and to proudly say we are pro-abortion. And in today's show, we've decided to dedicate our entire episode to one very special clinic, and Marie is going to fill you in on who it is.
Moji and I will sit down with Katie Quiñonez, Executive Director of the Women's Health Center of West Virginia, the only remaining clinic in the state. Katie is going to break down, the breakdown of abortion access in West Virginia. Moji.
Plus, Liz talks with Peaches about her incredible career and how she's used it to expose oppression over the last 2 decades.
But before all of that, Moji, Marie, and I are going to drop some West Virginia knowledge on your asses, and Marie is going to kick it off with good old Blockage Boy.
Oh, yes, Liz, the West Virginian Democrat who continues to leave his constituent canaries in the coal mines. Joe, I own a COVID vote, mansion. Here's a primer on how Joe has failed his state on all levels. He's standing in the way of the Build Back Better plan, including blocking direct payments to families with children in need. Since the expanded child tax credit ended last year, 3.7 million children have been forced into poverty. And this year, 50,000 young West Virginians will join them. He is blocking filibuster reform and voting rights protections, an incredibly racist move. But his favorite constitutional right to attack is abortion. And last week, this single issue, Blight to Appalachia, voted against bringing the Women's Health Protection Act up for debate. Not for ratification, mind you, not to allocate spending, just to allow debate. In 2020, 101 West Virginians received in-state abortion care. The Women's Health Protection Act would return dignity to their health care. It would remove the oppressive state laws that delay and cultivate fear around abortion, and it would create a statutory right to abortion care. And it would acknowledge the racist and eugenicist history to reproductive care, centering the Black, Indigenous, and Brown folks whose bodies continue to be experimented on. This act would mean a profound reproductive justice win. So, of course, this racist, misogynistic politician who was first elected 40 years ago into office is standing in the way.
I mean, when you vote against voter protection, against protecting women and children, against paycheck protection, what is possibly left to protect, Joe? I mean, have you ever even worn a rubber?
Who would fuck Joe
Moji-
Manchin?
There is that.
I'm sorry. It just needed to be said.
I don't think we've even hit close to the floorboard of what he won't protect, Moji. His shunning of the Build Back Better, he's simultaneously the chairperson of the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee. So this means no clean energy reforms, no methane gas protections. This motherfucker has done so much to ensure that no fed children are going to inherit any earth.
His philosophy literally is every child left behind. It is.
Yeah.
He's an entire mess, and like,
Fully.
and he's who we know from West Virginia, right? I think what people don't really understand is that Joe's cadre of West Virginia state reps and state senators are on equal par on the garbage train. You know, I mean, we all know the song Almost Heaven, West Virginia, but the fossil fueling fuckwits have turned Almost Heaven into a living hell. I mean, and just what exactly is Almost Heaven look like in West Virginia? Well, it's 49th in poverty, 44th in education, and 1 in 5 children in West Virginia are food insecure. West Virginia politicians are the gold standard of shameful, baking a 7-layer shit cake of pollution, poverty, and oppression, then icing it with some rancid abortion laws, forcing folks deeper into economic depression. I mean, just look at this slew of restrictions that are stinking up the joint. A 24-hour waiting period and a ban on telemedicine. That means patients probably have to travel for hours, get a hotel room, find childcare to access abortion at the one clinic that exists in this entire state. So, almost heaven for whom exactly? And how is it almost heaven to ban folks who live in a state that is all mountains from accessing abortion pills via telemedicine? Having telemedicine available could save them from the disruption of navigating and often perilous travel, and instead offer the option of having their abortions at home safely. And there is not even anything close to heavenly about a scenario that includes a law that requires West Virginia doctors recite lies to their patients about the side effects of abortions, all created as a government mandated sham session designed to talk patients out of their abortions. Seriously, the phrase clean coal has more truth in it than the script doctors are forced to read to their patients. West Virginia politicians have been bought and paid for by the coal industry, but have switched to gaslighting as their new form of energy. They're awful.
You know what, Liz? You know what would be almost heaven?
Tell me,
Replacing
Moji.
these misogynist flummakers with politicians who care about the needs of West Virginians. That would be
True.
great.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Liz, you really just summed up the acute cruelty and forced travel that these restrictions create. West Virginians don't deserve this mind tunnel maze to abortion care.
No, it's just simply awful. And between Joe Manchin on a federal level and these horrible state politicians, the environment that they have created for West Virginians trying to access abortion care is truly astounding. So, Moji, bring it all home and paint a picture for folk as to exactly what it looks like at the last clinic in the whole state.
All right, so Liz and Marie have already told you there's only one clinic in West Virginia, and I'm going to tell you about the fucked up shit that surrounds them. They're boxed in by a fake clinic next door, protesters with camera in front, and across the street is a vacant lot that activists recently purchased and used as an overflow bin for the protesters. The fake clinic next door is hypocritically named Woman's Choice, which is 100% not what they're about. Can you imagine trying to figure out if you're going to Women's Choice or Women's Health Center? I just walk into whichever I saw first. Anyway, a handy way to tell the difference between the real abortion clinic and the fake one is you go to the one with a bunch of protesters in front of it. This is the one instance where you walk towards a bunch of creepy dudes including Capitol insurrectionist, former West Virginia politician, and professional medical harasser Derek Evans. And not away from him like any sane person. Talk about a Sophie's choice. But wait, there's more. There's that vacant lot that Missy Ciccarello, leader of the local chapter of West Virginians for Life, purchased, which is across the street from the clinic. Like I said, she's bought it and declared it God's battlefield. They've erected a giant cross, put up offensive signs, and now have tons more space to use as a staging ground for harassment and fuckery. Can you imagine all of this hullabaloo for any other type of medical visit? Because I cannot. But the good news is that we have someone here who's going to fill us in about the horrors that these laws cause for patients and providers, and the harm caused by the actions of Miss Missy and Derek. Please welcome the Executive Director of Women's Health Center of West Virginia, Katie Quiñonez.
Hi there.
Hi, Katie.
Hey, how's
Thank
it going?
you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we just laid out the landscape of what a typical day could be like at your clinic. How does that dynamic affect the patients and your staff?
Well, it's a challenge. We, as you mentioned, are completely boxed in by anti-abortion protesters on one side of us and a fake clinic that is seeking to trick our patients into walking through their doors. We've had some pretty awful protesters that have used some pretty disgusting tactics to terrorize our patients, intimidate our staff. But we're committed to providing patient-centered care and keeping abortion accessible in our state. So we will continue showing up to do so.
Thank you, Katie. I'm so glad you could join us today. The laws in the books that Liz laid out are really such concrete, huge barriers. How would the Women's Health Protection Act have helped West Virginians as they try to navigate abortion care?
Well, the Women's Health Protection Act would be critical. Right now, our state legislature is in session. It wraps up this Saturday on March 12th, but they are very close to passing a 15-week ban here in the state of West Virginia. They're very close to passing a reason ban that would force physicians to interrogate a patient's reason for having an abortion and then withhold that care if it was on the basis of a fetal diagnosis or disability such as Down syndrome. The WHIPAA, the Women's Health Protection Act, would stop these types of restrictions from happening. You named so many others. There's a parental notification requirement for anyone under the age of 18 whenever we know that minors cannot always safely tell the people who are their parents or their legal guardians of their decision to have an abortion. It would, get rid of the telehealth medication abortion ban. West Virginia is a vast and rural state that unfortunately lacks a meaningful and robust public transportation system. So patients who are traveling sometimes 2.5 hours away just to visit our clinic could have safely done so by using telehealth. It really is critical in not only preserving but expanding abortion access in our state.
Thank you, Katie. If you're just joining us, I'm Moji from Feminist Buzzkills Live, and Maria and I are here with Katie Quiñonez, the Executive Director of the only remaining abortion clinic in West Virginia. Katie, we were talking about two of the most volatile extremists who harass patients at your clinics. Can you tell us about the former state senator, Derek Evans, who did a host of bullshit like harassing patients and staff so bad an escort had to file a restraining order against him, which he violated, got arrested and charged after live streaming his storming the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, and had to resign from his West Virginia legislature seat just days after being sworn in because of that January 6th thing? Just bring us up to speed with this dude.
So Derek Evans, he started harassing our patients back in February of 2019. He would scream at patients as they were entering our facility. He would live stream and film them from his Facebook page that he made himself called Derek Evans, the Activist. One time I was escorting a patient into our front door and he chased me across the street to meet the patient. And, he stalked our staff to such a degree that he said my partner's first and last name to me, basically like as an intimidation tactic to say that I know who your loved ones are and I know where you work. Sometimes, he would organize a group as big of 40 harassers to surround our clinic. They would block our driveway to stop patients from getting in the building. They would wave patients on and lie to them and tell them that they were in the incorrect place so that they would miss their appointment. You name it. Eventually, as you mentioned, Derek harassed one of our clinic escorts so severely and used his platform to do so that she was able to successfully get a restraining order against him, which he instantly violated and was facing jail time for doing so. He agreed to not come back to the clinic for 2 years, and during that time, he was elected to the West Virginia House of Delegates somehow. Before he ever even served in office. On January 6th of 2021, everyone here at our clinic saw a familiar face when we watched in horror what was happening at the U.S. Capitol. He likes to live stream. That's what he liked to do whenever he harassed our patients and staff when he was here. And so he live streamed himself, forcing his way into the Capitol during the insurrection, screaming, "Derek Evans is in the Capitol, baby." So
talk about telling on yourself.
That's what we're working with here. The last that we actually, I am happy to say that since he did that, we received over $30,000 in donations in his name for his dumbassery. But he is now facing charges and seeking a plea deal to avoid prison time. And then you mentioned Missy Ciccarello, the Kanawha Putnam County chapter president of West Virginians for Life. She and her chapter led the 40 Days for Life protests that happened October through December of 2021. During that time, they were renting the vacant lot that's across the street from our facility, regularly violating our city's ordinance, bill number 7819, which prohibits anyone from coming within 8 feet of a person who is entering or exiting a medical facility, so patients or staff. If you're promoting a message, which these guys are, or if you're trying to distribute literature, which oftentimes these guys are. And our clinic actually made an offer to purchase the vacant lot once we learned that the protesters were renting it, because we didn't want them to purchase it and have a permanent home by which to harass our patients and intimidate our staff. And unfortunately, the owner of that property, he rejected our offer and said that he was going to go with whatever the protesters offered him. So they now unfortunately own it, which is incredibly upsetting because now they're permanently there, but also we had great plans for that property. We really wanted to expand our services and offer more, pregnancy and postpartum support to folks in our community. So now we're surrounded on all sides by these very terrible people.
Well, Katie, I think really just need to show Missy how we play. I think we got to challenge folks to make a donation to your clinic in her name to help West Virginia Women's Clinic upgrade their security system. So you got what you said, $30K for Derek Evans. Come on, let's make this higher. Let's be equitable. Let's at least hit $30K. Go to womenshealthwv.org/donate.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, we've got these terrible abortion bans working their way through state legislature, and we know that when these bills, happen, they cause irreparable harm. One of the ways that they do that is by emboldening the crazies on the sidewalk. So anything that we can do to help make our building more secure for the patients that we serve, we welcome it, and we're grateful.
Katie, thank you for joining us. We are out of time, but we are excited to push for these donations in Missy's name. And glad that you could support us on Abortion Provider Appreciation Day. Coming up, thank you. Coming up, the one and only Peaches is joining us. But first, a few years back, Liz was visiting Katie's clinic in West Virginia and has a really great video about the creepy fake clinic I referred to, plus a very special message for the providers out there.
Hi guys, we are in Charleston, West Virginia at the Magical Mystery Tour doing clinic support. And I just wanted to make a super quick video to show you the proximity to crisis pregnancy centers versus this clinic right here. This is the amazing, wonderful, oh, it's so loud. I'm gonna walk close. This is the last clinic in the state of West Virginia. They are incredible. It is called the Women's Health Center of West Virginia, right? So we're here visiting, we're bringing them lunch, we're hanging out. Now, I want you to just follow me really quickly to see what kind of bullshit is happening.
This is the real clinic in West Virginia.
This is the parking lot for the real clinic.
The parking lot for the real clinic.
Look at this sign right here. This is the shit they deal with. Right behind this is a fake clinic. And just to give you a proximity, I'm going to walk you over to the fake clinic. I'm walking fast so the video doesn't get boring. Also, so you can objectify my beautiful, stunning behind. Right here is the fake clinic. Look at the sign. Look at the sign, looks real. Considering abortion, they won't help you. A woman's choice versus a women's health center. How confusing. How confusing is that shit? There's 18 of these. 18 of these.
Next to the Women's Health Center. That's
One of these. 18.
Talk about how the Lyft
What?
drivers don't know the difference.
And Joyelle was just brought here on Lyft, and the Lyft driver was like, which one do you want to go to? And so that's even how bad it is. The people, nobody knows the difference. And so if you're taking a car here, you don't know which one is which, and the driver doesn't know, so you could easily be confused because of the proximity and the name. Unbelievable. That's what we're doing today. Peace out. Checking in later.
Yeah, this is all for the abortion providers out there. You are true heroes, you all wear halos, believe when we say that you deserve cheesecake. You give your blood to all those who walk through your doors. May we say that we love you always. Tell me why protesters gotta hate on you. Pumpkin fight politicians try to punish you. Oh my, we'll support you and we're here to say we love you always, and we make you cheesecake.
Welcome back. Feminist Buzzkills live here, Vera. The show.
How
that
good is that? Mochi can't stop laughing.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's like, you know, I like having a non-gender band. Like there's boy bands, there's girl bands, and we have a gender non-conforming band. I know, it's so
All right,
good.
continue. Ignore me.
Mochi's just having a moment. Marie?
they're amazing. And knowing that is all the original audio. Like there was no dubbing here, folks. This was done in person.
Comedians who can sing are really the best. All right, I'm just gonna take this because we just went off the fucking rails, but we're doing great. Marie, Moji, that interview was great, and Katie was fantastic. Thank you, Katie, for the work you do and for what you have to go through. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, our next guest has literally been my catharsis through the xenophobia after 9/11, the Iraq War, Trump, and the constant tsunami of sexism, racism, and trans and homophobia. She's out right now doing a 20th anniversary tour of her classic Teaches of Peaches. Please welcome Peaches. Hello.
Wait, should I look like that?
Lair.
I'm trying to look like the poster. It's not working. What is the
looking
name
good.
of that non-binary band? Is it called
You
the
know,
Cheesecakes?
We have the best comedy writers on staff. They're just incredible. And so they just were like, let's do a really funny fake Backstreet Boys like love song to abortion providers. And so they made it on iPhones in an afternoon. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, but they need a name. I need a
They
name
do.
for
They
them.
do need a name. What do you think we should That's Peaches, I'm going to put that on you to give us a
Yeah,
cool
okay.
name.
Just the APAs, abortion provider appreciators.
Okay, I like
APAs.
it. The APAs. That
The
works.
APAs. Yeah.
The APAs. I like it. First of all, I just
APAs.
have to ask, how are you? How have you survived the pandemic? You look like you are living your best life. So I want to know how you're really doing.
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to get back to what I love doing, which is communicating, inciting my own, um, you know, powerful empowerment, fun celebration work, which doesn't happen online, that happens in person in front of people. And that's what I'm going to do with my tour. So I'm really excited about that. I'm very happy that I don't have to fuck Joe Manchin or Derek Evans or Missy Cicerello. I wouldn't fuck any three of them, and they can go
No.
fuck themselves.
That's right. Thank God for hands and thank God for devices so that we can always avoid terrible, terrible encounters with horrible people.
Yeah.
So something that people ask me a lot is
Hmm.
because my whole career has been combining, sort of empowerment and exposing bullshit with my work. And they always like,
Right.
did you bring your art to your work or did you bring your work to your art? Like what came first for you? Or did it come together at the same time?
I think it kind of like rolled out on itself as it became more like a confidence thing with the music and seeing that um, you have this, um, in a good way, this ability to hold attention of people and to, um, yeah, to hold attention or to bring a point of view or change a point of view, and then I feel like it's also the best way possible a responsibility,
Yeah.
so by by your own confidence and with the way that you're expressing whatever your art is, then you can also inject the not just the empowerment by modeling what you're doing, but also um, all that good stuff to be on the right side,
Yeah. Gender
you know?
positivity, inclusion, just like the power of the
Yeah.
pussy have been like front and center. How, because you live in Berlin and because
Hmm.
the US is often so puritanical, how has it been received in like both of those places? I'm super curious. Or differently, actually.
Well,
How's it been different?
I think it's more palpable in America because it just feels like the people who need it really need it, and because you say there's so much like polarizing ideas and polarizing just everything polarizing. America is so polarizing. It's so enticing and so vile and so full of itself and also so depleted. It's it's really incredible to have all these different areas. So because of all that confusion, I feel like um, when I play there, it's really exciting. And in Europe, it's like, yeah, this is good. This kind of faith.
I think we
Hmm.
need a catharsis
But
so badly. And one thing that you've always provided is that catharsis for folks. It's like, please, like, we can just like exhale as you say and sing and emote everything we're feeling. And it's awesome.
That's fantastic because there's a lot of still subjects that people don't want to deal with that I'm singing about, or the way that I'm expressing myself. People don't want to see a person acting like that, but the more I do it and with the more vigor, it, the yeah, it becomes a celebration.
Yeah.
It's always about it becoming a celebration instead of like an anger, like there is an anger in it. There is a like, come on, stand up and do something. But it's also let's celebrate it.
Yeah.
And
And I think,
I
oh, go
really
ahead. No, go
okay,
ahead.
yeah, I also it's just important also to add humor to it because I want people to be drawn in, and I want them. I don't want them. I don't want people to be repelled by it. I want them to go like, oh yeah, oh, now I'm in it, and this is funny, and I can relax a little bit, and I can, enjoy this.
Yep, I agree. And I think the fun is the best part. We have to wrap this up. It goes so fast. But
Yeah,
in all of that, you are just doing so much stigma reduction, which is just incredible. And since today is Abortion Provider Appreciation Day, and we're all
it is
about
abortion appreciation
provider.
provider day, and you are all so worthy of all our love and all our support. And thank you so much. Really, it's incredible work that you're doing, and we all appreciate you. You need to know.
That is the perfect way to end this interview. Peaches, it is so exciting to talk to you. The tour is going to be so incredible. And please come back.
Thank you.
It is going to be incredible. Thank you. Take care. Amazing. And Peaches
And
is
thank you.
out.
Your show's very important, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thanks so much for coming on. It's great. And make
Yeah.
sure if you literally need to just like have your soul enriched and your guts like screamed out and you want the best time ever, go see this tour because if you didn't see it 20 years ago, you get to see it now. Teaches of Peaches. If you want all the information, you can get it teachesofpeaches.com. Amazing. So great. That was the show. Hi guys.
Hey,
Are you still like losing your shit, Mochi? What is
I've
happening?
like pulled it together finally, and I'm glad that the band has a name.
I am too. Oh my God. That was just so much fun. We had a lot of moments in this show today. It was packed. What do you guys think? What are your moments? What are your big moments? Takeaways today?
All right, so my takeaway was that clinic protesters generally look like an all-white rap group that rhymes abortion with words like distortion, unlike
Uh-huh.
APA, who fucking rock.
Rock. Marie?
Oh, mine was that woman choice sounds like a line of feminine wipes that give you rashes, which is probably similar to the level of care you're going to get at that fake clinic.
I think I learned that if you're gonna talk about Joe Manchin and then garbage it up with the laws of West Virginia, the perfect anecdote is people providing abortion care with a cherry on top of peaches. That's what I think. Amazing. So that is for real our wrap and our show. Thank you, friends, for watching. Again, we want to thank Peaches and Katie for stopping by. Check out the tour dates for Peaches at teachespeaches.com. And Marie?
Yes. And as mentioned, the Women's Clinic of West Virginia needs $2,500 to improve security. So help keep them safe from these creeps. Go online and make a donation at womenshealthwv.org/donate.
In fact, have a little fun with it and do it in Missy's name, the harasser who purchased the lot across the street.
That's right. Plus, during this Abortion Provider Appreciation Week, many clinics have reached out to Abortion Access Front needing some help, and we are featuring some of them on the Abortion AF website during our Adopt a Clinic drive. So if you want to help out and adopt a clinic, go to aafront.org/resources for all of that info.
And remember to support your feminist Buzzkills by liking and subscribing on the Abortion AF YouTube channel and by making a donation at aafront.org.
And if you miss us live, you can watch anytime on YouTube, or you can listen to the broadcast on Podform. This episode drops Sundays wherever you get your podfix.
And join us next week because we have a great show. Whole Women's Health CEO Amy Hagstrom Miller joins to give us an update on her lawsuit against the state of fucking Texas. And she has some awesome news about the new Whole Women's Health clinic she's just opened up in the Twin Cities.
Plus all the latest fuckery out here in these reproductive streets. But now we leave you with Missy Ciccarello showing her whole ass so you can see what the West Virginia patients and clinic deal with every single day. Please tell an abortion provider that you love them today. Bye-bye.
Bye. We love you, providers.
We love you.
States are claim on the west side of Charleston. We have claimed it for God. We have claimed it for our life. We are going to stand for God. We are going to stand for life. We are going to speak life on West Washington Street in Charleston, West Virginia. I want to invite every one of you, after this is over today, drive by that property. If you have four-wheel drive, pull in. You are welcome. Pull in. Walk that property the way I do. Walk that property and pray that God gives us protection.
Feminist Buzzkills Live is a production of Abortion Access Front. Subscribe to our YouTube at aafront.org/FBKsub.